Here's my audience. Alright, did you know in July of 2018 the government spent over $140 million to fight one summer of fires here in Colorado? Colorado has wildfires often because it is normally in a drought. It is important to know the negative effects of wildfires since we do live here in Colorado. And we can be affected more often than the people who live in a place such as New York City because they just don't see it as often as we do. The Waldo Canyon fire in 2012 was close to my home, and ever since I have seen how it has affected the city of Colorado Springs. This image here is of the Waldo Canyon fire, and there are some houses that are burning in this picture. I wrote a paper for my Colorado history class on the effects of wildfires, and I think it is important to discuss. These are the three important negative effects that wildfires bring. The first being that it is costly in many ways. Second being that they cause flooding in the aftermath, and third being that it is difficult for regrowth of trees and plants. Let's start off with discussing how wildfires are costly. The most obvious way that wildfires are costly is that it costs money to fight fires. There was a news article published in mid-July of last year that covered the wildfires in the state of Colorado. In the article, they stated the government had nearly spent $140 million fighting fires, and two of those costed just about $33 million. Needless to say, the amount of money the government puts into fighting fires is costly. It is also costly because people lose their homes, and businesses lose buildings and other expensive items. People who lose homes lose all their belongings and treasures. Some people may lose their childhood home. It doesn't seem costly because you can replace belongings or you could even buy a new home, but it is devastating for these families. It is expensive to either rebuild your home or move somewhere else. Mesa Verde National Park had numerous wildfires, and in the most recent one they lost 2 of their buildings, which was expensive to rebuild. In the Black Forest fire in Colorado Springs, 594 homes were lost. The last reason it is costly is because lives are lost. Not everyone thinks this is a big cost of fire, but not everyone makes it out of their home in time, and firefighters are on the front lines of these fires. Animal lives are lost too. In the Black Forest fires, horses and farm animals were not able to be saved from the fire, and they were running around just trying to escape. 5 people died in the Hammond fire, which could have easily been prevented. The South Canyon fire near Glenwood Springs in 1984 killed 14 firefighters. Lots of lives are lost, and it affects their families deeply. Now that we have discussed how wildfires are costly, let's talk about the aftermath of flooding with fires. The burn scar that is left behind causes many flash floods. After the Waldo Canyon fire in 2012, there was a massive flash flood down Highway 24. This took many people's lives and caused people to have to evacuate their homes or get stuck on the highway with no way out. This image is a little bit blurry, but there's a semi-truck that was floating down the highway. After the Black Forest fire, there was flooding as well, not as intense though. There are mudslides or landslides, which are also common. La Vida Pass and Mesa Verde also have many mudslides. This happens because the excessive amount of rainfall that comes. People near the Waldo Canyon fire had debris coming into their trailer park and had to be evacuated. Sometimes there's a constant amount of rain, and it is hard for things to grow back when there are flooding, which leads into the next effect of wildfires, regrowth. As stated before, after a fire, all that is left is burn scar. This is difficult to have regrowth for the first, being that the soil is not the same. A study showed that after a wildfire, it is extremely difficult to grow living organisms because the soil is full of ash. After a fire, the only thing that's left is the trees that are burned and ashy soil. This makes it extremely difficult, and it is estimated that after 10 years, there will be tree regrowth. However, the Hammond fire happened well over 10 years ago, and there still is not much regrowth. In this picture, it was 2 months after the Hammond fire, and this picture was 10 years after, and there's still only some shrubs. So, regrowth is very difficult because not much can grow in an ashy soil. This causes animals to leave because there are no resources or food, and that makes the ecosystem get messed up. Overall, wildfires have many negative effects. Colorado is prone to wildfires, and it is not good for our state. Wildfires are costly, they cause flooding, and it causes problem for regrowth of vegetation. They don't plan on stopping soon, even though they say Colorado is way over the amount of rainfall that they are supposed to have in the year. It is still common here. In 2013, Colorado had over 1,700 wildfires in 1 year, and they continue to occur with rain or not. Thank you.